All right, well, time now for our business update, and I'm joined here by Yuka Roya in the studio. You're starting with a company that's facing more trouble, Yuka.
It's another tech company, Tesla, saw its shares drop 2.5% in after-hours trading on Thursday. That's after the company recalled about 123,000 Model S cars made before April 2016 to replace a faulty power steering bolt. The recall is just the latest trouble to hit the electric car maker, which is yet to turn a profit in its 15-year business. James Franey reports.
Has Tesla's long road to making money hit another speed bump? Elon Musk's electric automaker has captured the imagination of car lovers worldwide. More than 500,000 people are on the waiting list for its new Model 3. But investors are showing some signs of buyer's remorse. There are many issues markets are worried about. First of all, a fatal crash last Friday involving one of Tesla's cars that has an autopilot feature. Also, a recall of more than 120,000 Model S vehicles over faulty power steering. Then there are the production targets for the Model 3, which have been repeatedly missed. And also the rate that Tesla burns cash. Bloomberg reported on Wednesday that the company would run out by the end of the year without fresh financing. What's more, the company has never made a profit. But it's keen to point out that revenues rose to $3.2 billion in the fourth quarter of last year, up from $2.2 billion for the same period in 2016. In the final 3 months of last year, it lost $675.4 million. A year earlier, that figure was $121.3 million. Musk has wowed the industry with his electric vehicles vision for well over a decade. But some industry analysts say that Tesla will finally have to turn the corner and start making money if that vision is going to become a reality.
Now let's check in on the global trading action now. And Tokyo led the way in Asia trading this Friday following gains on Wall Street the previous day. The European markets are closed for Easter holidays, but if you look at the figures, Tokyo closed up 1.4% and the others also above the flat line. Now, US markets closed higher, as I said, ahead of the long weekend, lifted by the tech sector, which rebounded after a two-day sell-off. But if you look at the whole month of March, the figures are all in the red. All major Wall Street indices ended the month with a loss. Dow Jones down by as much as 3.7%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq suffered its biggest monthly decline since January 2016. A concern over increased regulation following Facebook's data scandal weighed on the big tech companies. As you can see there, minus almost 3% drop there at the end of the month. But if you look at the results for the first quarter of this year, the first 3 months of this year, the Nasdaq has still made gains as the overall health and cash levels of the tech sector remain robust. The Dow and S&P, however, ended the first 3 months of this year in the red, snapping a 9-quarter streak of gains. If you can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average there, dropping there, that's when there was concern over a potential trade war, and there it's the tech sector pulling down the whole market. Now, turning to global trade now, and Donald Trump says he may suspend the newly renegotiated trade deal with South Korea, making it contingent on progress with North Korea. The US president has hailed the agreement as a victory for America. It will exempt Seoul from Washington's new tariffs on steel and aluminium imports in exchange for quotas. But Trump says he may hold off on implementing that deal because it can be used as a tool in negotiating with the North over its denuclearization. Take a lesson.
Just this week, we secured a wonderful deal with South Korea. We were in a deal that was a horror show. So we've redone it, and that's going to level the playing field on steel and cars and trucks coming into this country. And I may hold it up till after a deal is made with North Korea, because it's a very strong card. And I want to make sure everyone is treated fairly, and we're moving along very nicely with North Korea. We'll see what happens.
Now, officials in Seoul say they're trying to figure out the real intent of Trump's comments. Now, here in France, travellers are bracing for major disruptions this Friday. Nearly a quarter of Air France flights will be cancelled as unions go on strike again. Staff are demanding a 6% pay rise to compensate for rising inflation. Management, though, has called that impossible and offered a 1% increase instead. Most long-haul flights from Paris will not be affected. Workers at the state railway SNCF is also gearing up for a 3-month rolling strike in protest to planned reforms starting Easter Monday.
And the lesson, Yuka Royer, if you have travel planned and you live in France, maybe good time to change your plans, right?
It may be, but then there are more to come, so.
There you go.